It's been a couple of months since I did my project polish intro. I think I uploaded my video beginning part of January, so it's time for an update. I wanted to wait a little bit only because I wanted to make sure that I had enough progress on most of the polishes that I have to mention. That's number one. Number two, that I just wanted to make sure that I had enough manicures to share with you, because a lot of these polishes I have worn primarily as pedicures. So let me get on into it. I'm gonna start off with Gingerbread from Color Club, and I'll do close-up bottle shots for you guys to see where I'm at. So that's where I started off the year, and that's where I'm at this moment, because I've only used it, I think I dry brushed a little bit on a pedicure, but not enough to show usage. And then I used one coat for a manicure. I used this one as a base, so again, not enough to show any type of progress. But the manicure that I'm going to share with you guys is one where I added one coat of Gingerbread on my nails as a base. Gingerbread has a mix of gold micro glitter and gold holographic glitter. It is a very dense glitter, so it can get opaque at 2 coats. You can kind of see the nail line. I can benefit from a 3rd coat, but it's not anything that bothers me because this polish is pretty reflective. So added one coat of Gingerbread. That was my base. And then I pulled a polish that's not in my project polish, but I wanted to see how this looked. And it ended up looking really beautiful. I added one coat of Mother of Pearl over top of Gingerbread, and this one is an iridescent glitter. I'll do a close-up of those two. Over top of those though, this is the layering manicure. Over top of those two, I added one thin coat of Red Carpet. And Red Carpet is a red shimmer, and the base is slightly bit more sheer, so I could see the glitters reflect from Gingerbread, and I could see in some lights, not all lights, but in some lights I could see a little bit of Mother of Pearl peeking through. It was a really beautiful manicure. I really enjoyed that one actually. It reflected a lot more in person than what my pictures captured. The next polish is a Sunkissed Silver from Loreal. This bottle was full when I put it in the project, and I am now down to there. Sunkissed Silver is a white with a drop of black, so it grays it out a little bit, and usually it takes about 3 coats to get opaque. I have primarily worn this as a pedicure, I want to say at least twice, and I've done 3 manicures with this one, and each manicure takes about 3 coats to get to full opacity. One of the manicures, actually there's 2 Valentine's themed manicures. One of them I applied Sunkissed Silver on all of my nails, and then I pulled Red Carpet, which is also in my project polish, and I did some hearts with these little nail art tools or what have you. So I did some hearts on my ring finger, and then I did some dots as well. I enjoyed that manicure. I just kind of wish I would have done the heart design on all of my nails. I think that would have looked really pretty. And then over top of all of that, I dry brushed a little bit of Fuji Fuji over top of it. And then the next mani that I did using Sunkissed Silver, I'm out of practice clearly. I'm having trouble gathering my words, and my nose is very itchy. I have some allergies today, sorry. Okay, another manicure using Sunkissed Silver was using this at 3 coats as a base, and then I added a red metallic glitter, just a little topper over that. And this red metallic glitter is one that I made years ago here at home with my suspension base and some glitter that I think I bought at Girly Bits a really long time ago. So it's just a homemade red metallic glitter and sitting in a clear base. So added a good coat of this over top of Sunkissed Silver. Wore it in the Valentine's month, but quite frankly this seems a little bit more holiday-ish, but you know, I got some use out of it and it wore very well. And the next manicure is combining it with a Cabana Boy from JulieG. This is a polish that I also have in my project polish, and I applied Sunkissed Silver on my thumb, my middle finger, and my ring finger, and Cabana Boy on my index and my pinky. And over top of all of the nails, I pulled this LA Colors glitter topper, and it's called Crystals. It's another one that's kind of a white but iridescent glitter mix, and it's really beautiful. It looked amazing actually on all of my nails. I would like to do a solid manicure with just Sunkissed and crystals, or Cabana Boy and crystals, because it looked crystals looked really beautiful over top of both of these polishes. So since I mentioned Fuji Fuji is another one that I have in my project, and starting the year I started off right here and I'm leaving it off right there. I'm kind of torn with this polish as to what to do with this polish, because I am ready to call it done, but I can make more of this polish with my suspension base, to be honest. But I'm not sure just yet. I don't know if I love it enough to make more of it. I may call it done. I'll let you guys know by next update. As of right now, I'm done with it though. I had this polish in last year's project polish and it was completely full. And that's where I started this year, and this is where I'm leaving it off up until this point. For this one, I did some little glitter gradient for some pedicures. And I did dry brush some of this on that Valentine's Day mani with Fuji Fuji, not Fuji Fuji, Sunkissed Silver and Red Carpet. But because now what's left in this bottle is primarily glitter, there is barely any base in here. Application with the brush is nearly impossible. It's kind of hard to pull any of this out. Even tilting the bottle, it doesn't really move as much because there's not a lot of base left over. So what I did is try to pour as much as I could onto my mat, and for the next two manicures I used some of Fuji Fuji as a base. So what I did to absorb some of that base coat, because it is pretty thick and it was taking a long time to dry, I sponged it on. I sponged on a good layer on all of my nails, and on one of the manicures I added Red Carpet over top of it, and I could see the glitters, but it looked a little thick and a little chunky because this is you know, chunky glitter and there's no base in it anymore. There's just a lot of glitter on my nails. So not the cleanest manicure, but you know, it's a manicure that I wore with Red Carpet over top of Fuji Fuji. And then the next manicure, I did the same exact thing, sponged on some of Fuji Fuji as a base, and then added Award for Best Nails from OPI over top of Fuji Fuji. This is not in my project polish, but I wanted to use it as, you know, for like a jelly sandwich type of manicure. So I added as thin of a coat as I could over top of Fuji Fuji. The problem with that manicure, because it looked even more messy than the red one that I did with Fuji Fuji, is that not only is the glitter application pretty messy, but trying to cover evenly around my cuticle with the blue, it was just kind of messy. So my cuticle area looked a little bit messy. Another reason why that's not one of my favorite manicures is because I have to be careful with how my application with Award for Best Nails. And the reason for that is because although it is a blue jelly, it is a very opaque jelly, and if I go in a little bit too heavy, this almost covers too much of the glitter, so they don't really show through, which defeats the purpose of a jelly type of sandwich, right? It was a little bit messy on the parts where I could see the glitter though. It looked really beautiful, kind of like an ocean. There was crystals underwater or something like that. The next polish, I may consider this one done as well, but I will confirm that in next update. And this is On a Trip from Wet n Wild. Wet n Wild's On a Trip I've had in the project since last year, and that is where I started off. And at the beginning of the year, this is where I was. So that's where I finished off last year basically, and that was my starting point for this year. And now I work it down to here. There's no manicures with this one. It's mainly pedicures, and the reason for that is because it's super thick now. Number one, it's hard for me to get enough of the polish on my brush to apply enough on my nails. And number two, it's pretty thick. And number three, it just doesn't dry anymore. So the last couple of applications for this one has solely been for pedicures, one of which I added On a Trip on all of my nails for that pedi, and then I dry brushed a little bit of Fuji Fuji over top of it, just closer to the cuticle of the nail. And then the next pedicure, I did a sponging pedi. So I combined On a Trip a little bit of Cabana Boy from JulieG, and I think some other pinky corally polish from Salon Perfect, one of their new polishes that I bought. And that was a really pretty manicure. And then again, I dry brushed a little bit of Fuji Fuji over top of it. I do though would like to finish the rest of this off, and I may be able to do maybe sponging on 2 of my nails on each hand for that last manicure, because I want to recreate the petty that I did with this one, the sponging petty. I want to recreate it on my hands as well. So we'll see. I don't know. As of right now, I'm leaving it off right here. I may attempt that for this coming week though. And then let's do this gold one, which is, what are you called, honey? Pedal to the Metal from Maybelline. Not a lot of progress. I've used this as a pedicure, I think, once this last time, or in the last couple of months. I've enjoyed it. Every time I wear it as a pedicure, I've enjoyed this one. I think this one I'm also going to be enjoying during the summer. So I don't see this one finishing it off anytime soon, because it is a gold polish and I can combine it with other polishes, not just for my project polish, but also from my seasonal rack. So very, very small progress. That's where I started off the year, and that's where I'm leaving it off. This is one that I also had in my project last year, and it was completely full, and I was able to work it down to here. But that's where I started in January, and then just that little small progress right there. Moving on to different dimensions. This is called Maleficent, and this is a little flaky polish that can get opaque on its own. And it reflects a little gold, a little blue, a little purple, a little aqua, a little, did I say purple, green, kind of turquoisey, I want to say. It's just really, really beautiful. It does require 3 coats to get opaque, and I was able to work it down to about here. This was completely full when I put it in the project. Really beautiful manicure. I don't love it as much as I remember loving it. It was really beautiful when I first bought it, but my experience this time around was just kind of like, I don't know. I feel like this is one of those polishes, although not a very dense glitter, and these are flaky, so they lay a little bit more flat, right? It's not a very thirsty type of polish, and yet it seems to drink up a lot of my top coat for some reason. So it doesn't retain its glossiness for a very long time. It's almost as if I have to put a top coat on every single day for it to look glossy and reflective at all times. But regardless, I was able to work it down. That's the whole point of this. So I've had red carpet in my project since last year, like the second half of the year, and it was pretty much full, and I was able to work it down to this line. In January, that was my starting point, and I was able to work it down to this line. The issue that I'm having with red carpet now is that it's just not drying. It's thickening up really, really fast. Ever since I've gotten past this point, it's just thickened up so much, which is why I've added suspension base and why I've added nail polish thinner, the Beauty Secrets one. And although manageable as far as application, it's just not drying. I don't know why. I'm not sure if my bottle is just very, very old. I'm just not sure. Maybe throughout the years I've added nail polish thinner, right? I'm not really sure, but it just wasn't drying, and it was just too thick to where it wasn't very applicable, surprising enough, because I wasn't even past the halfway point. I was able to work it down to here by putting it over top of Fuji Fuji. I also put this or did the little red hearts right for that Valentine's Day mani. I combined it with a Gingerbread from Color Club and Mother of Pearl from Salon Perfect. Because it's thickened and it wasn't drying anymore, I filled this baby up. I was able though to capture a picture of it when I showed progress down to here, as well as a video. But what I did to try to restore this and see if it would work, and you know, first manicure that I did after restoring it, it was fine. I added my suspension base, filled it back up, and then I even added a couple of drops of the Beauty Secrets nail polish thinner just to thin it out a little bit so that the application could be just a little bit easier. The last 2 polishes, I want to say, yep, I don't have any progress on because I did not use these. So one of them being Sonia Cashews Sweet Cheeks. That's the little pink kind of mauvey polish. That's where I was in January. That's where I still am. And then I still have not touched Palish Dog Days. I don't know why. This is such a beautiful polish. I added it on my second half of last year, like the second part of the year, into the project, and I still have not worn it. I don't know what my deal, and I don't know why, because it's such a beautiful polish. I guess I'm not gravitating towards greens as much as I, you know, thought I would. I'm not sure. Point is that no progress on that one. So, and then, you know, although I've used Cabana Boy, there's no progress on this one either. So that is everything for this update, guys. Hopefully in a month, maybe 2 more months, I will do another update for you guys. Just because I think 2 months is a long time, but for me it's enough, only because it gives me ample time to spread these polishes out for manicures, especially because these are not the only polishes that I'm wearing. I'm also wearing polishes from my seasonal rack. So that's everything. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.